Yes, we are live. So hello everyone and welcome to our webinar. Thank you all for joining today. My name is Elena Grunik and I'm Regional Director for the Central Eastern Europe at the SME Banking Club, and I will be your host today. And today we decided to discuss the topic of agricultural finance and how digitalization can accelerate actually the access of the SME or business customers to the agri-finance. And I'm very glad to be joined by Mattia Jules, CEO and founder at Agrivi, which is an agri-tech providing agricultural management software solution with the offices in UK, Croatia, and Poland. Hello, Mattia, and very glad to have you today.
Hello, Elena, and thanks for having me.
So before we go to the topic, let me shortly mention organizational moments. So our webinar is scheduled for half an hour. We are recording this webinar, so right after we finish, you will receive the link to the video. And in the end of the webinar, we're gonna have time for your questions. So please type your questions into the chat. So let's go to the topic. So we decided to talk today about financing of agricultural sector, and which is actually considered to be as the conservative or traditional ones, let's say, so both farmers themselves and actually how banks are approaching this sector. We did a survey on the digital SME finance here in the CE region this year and presented it in September. And what we see here is that there is no bank in the region offering a fully digital process for agri loans. So, and if we look on another area, which is the cooperation with agri-tech, so we have some examples here in the region. Probably the most important one is that BNP Paribas Group launched an agri-hub for the whole Central Eastern Europe, and they have also a separate portal for agricultural customer with single sign-on and access to agri software management solutions for the farmers, etc. And also, like if we look like wider on the Europe, so Rabobank is very famous on their Food Bites program, which helps to agri-tech customers to scale up. And Berkla is also, like 2 years ago, they created a separate agri-tech teams in the bank, so to accelerate the development of this sector and the collaboration. So Mattia, I'm ready to pass over to you. So what is your feeling of the market? Do you see that the acceleration of digitalization of the sector is increasing, let's say, especially this year? What do you see among your customers? You're welcome.
Thank you, Elena. And first of all, a good day to everybody who is listening to us now. And to reflect on your question, definitely digitalization is going up with the adoption across the world. We can see that also in our regions across the Europe as well. And especially during the crisis times that we are facing now, we can see that digitalization is playing an important role in every sector and in agriculture as well. We can see that farms have adopted a lot of new ways of reaching out to clients currently through online channels, through whether it is social media, reaching out and promoting products through Facebook, through different online marketplaces, and as well we can see all other sectors that collaborate with farms that they're pushing currently with new projects, new ideas, how to support their collaboration with farmers, and this includes definitely agriculture financing as well. Mm-hmm. And maybe to start with the presentation and to go through the topic. First of all, to introduce myself and the company, to understand the position from which we are speaking when we are discussing the segment. My name is Mattia Jules. I'm founder and CEO of Agrivi, and as a company, we are agri-tech company that is specialized in delivering digital agriculture solutions to the entire value chain. and we empower both farmers and all the stakeholders to drive economically and environmentally sustainable food production. Our company is currently 7 years fully in the agri-tech space, so we are a sort of pioneer within Europe and globally, as this space is quite young still. At the moment, we have offices in UK, in Croatia, in Romania, in Poland, and we have customer base on all continents, so globally. And today we are a company of over 40 people. Our product portfolio is basically formed of our base platform, farm management platform, that is the base for our product family of Agrivi 360. So this is our product family that is oriented on entire value chain, where we have products for farm insights that is oriented on SME farms. We have farm enterprise products that are oriented more on big farms. Then we have products for food companies that collaborate with agriculture, that collaborate with farmers, that source from farmers. And as well, we are developing products for banks and for insurance as well, that collaborate with growers and gain insights. On top of that, we have additional product family as well to be able to bring turnkey solution to our customers with IoT devices, sensorics from weather stations, soil sensors, satellite imagery drones, so we can deliver turnkey solutions to our clients from one hand. And today, we are proud that we are working with the major global brands in the industry, from Nestle, Driscoll's, BNP Paribas as a bank, to different kind of stakeholders, but with different stakeholders on all continents. And we are recognized as a company as one of key global leaders in farm management space. And additionally, what is very important for us, for this state of currently having the crisis and everything in mind, Ernst & Young recommended us our project, our company, as one of the key projects that can bring fast impact to digitalization of national agriculture, so within less than 2 years, so with a very fast impact. And this was recommendation that we got last month. So I think when we are discussing from bank perspective and how to address clients, so it is very important to understand ability, which kind of technologies can deliver fast impact in the current times. So let's switch more to what's happening currently in agriculture and what farmers are facing and what we can see with financing. So when we speak about farmers, it is actually very their challenges are common in terms of the last few years. When we take a look on the inputs, we can see that the input prices have gone up for 21% in the last 10 years, which is representing quite a push on farmer profit margin. And this is one big driver of challenges and what farmers are looking to solve. The second part is definitely access to finance. When farmers need to access the finance, we can see that the SME segment is definitely having more trouble to access finance than the enterprise segment. Farmers lack access to best practices. Losses caused by just late crop protection count for 20 to 40% lower yields. This is very high impact on profitability of farms. Climate is doing its thing, so we can see that impact of droughts, hail, and different climate disasters take from 10 to 50% of yields every single year, depending from crop and region. And then very important factor that plays a role in efficiency of farms, and this challenge is really farm management in terms of the business skills, business practices, because farms are usually growers that know how to grow, but are not so proficient in business skills and accessing the market, which reflects then as well with the ability to sell their volumes to the market on a good price. So it's very limited access to the direct access to consumers where they can achieve good price. So usually then they sell on wholesale with very low profit margins. And if we take a look at a wholesale example, farmers receive only 30% in share from the retail price, which is very, very actually low. And then the next challenge definitely that is present is traceability, where farmers don't take advantage today of digitalization in enough percentage, and digitalization and traceability can bring them a 10 to 30% price premium, which is also very interesting to increase profit margin. And the last part is definitely challenges with storage and distribution. But when we take a look, these are all the challenges, and digitalization helps in addressing most of these challenges, and there are different solutions that address different segments of these challenges. But when we speak about finance, key areas of why farmers ask for financing is on one side to be able to finance cash flow for the season, so from buying inputs, from financing the labor during the season, and basically paying all the obligations till they get payments from harvests. So this is one part of financing. The second part is definitely investing in modernization and efficiency. So new tractors, new equipment, new facilities. This is the second segment. Then the third segment is definitely expansion. So purchasing additional land. Pursuing economy of scale. And the fourth factor is succession, where farmers are then taking over the farm from the previous generation and paying out all the others in the family. So usually those are four segments which we see in terms of why farmers are asking for financing. And what is very interesting that the studies shown, study by European Commission shows that was published a few months ago, that there is a financial gap in European Union of between 20 and 45 million euros, which is very, very high gap. So this means that farmers who were asking for finance and who didn't get financing were asking for financing in this range. And this is the strong gap. This is the strong also opportunity to see how to finance, how to provide financing to that segment of farms as well. So the question is, what is the role of digital agriculture in the entire agriculture space? On one side, it's very important that digital agriculture and digital technologies are here to support farmer decision making, to support access to information, to support connecting farmers to others. And if we speak about technologies that are in the domain of smart farming, that orient and focus on productivity on farms, we can see, and this is from our own experience within our customer base, that farms that utilize farm management software technologies well can increase their profit margin between 50 and 100%, which is very significant increase and very good motivation for farms to adopt technology, but as well for others. When we speak about banks and motivation, definitely profitable farmers are good clients. They want to invest into expansion, and this is also one of the aspects of why banks are interested in farm management technologies and productivity increase. There are other examples of digital technologies that orient not on productivity, but orient on access to inputs. For example, Farmer Business Network from US is a very good example of the marketplace that supports farmers with price transparency, so complete price transparency of inputs, and allows them to buy inputs directly through the platform on cheaper price. So basically optimizing costs of input, which represent a big cost category for farms. But on the other side, as you can see here, they're providing also financing together with the package of buying seeds. So this is very important also with the following example of Turkish startup that recently secured $5 million US dollars for expansion. They orient on smallholder segment, on SME segment of farms, and they also provide farmers with financing for inputs, and they provide farmers with financing in a way that they're paying back loans after the season. So from the beginning of season till the end of season, they're providing financing completely through the app. And this is one thing that where we can see that companies that are not banks are getting into the area of agriculture financing completely. So both this is a mix of agritech and fintech a bit. There is a question, okay, with the growth of these kind of companies, what is the role of banks in financing further on? The example that you, Elena, also mentioned of BNP Paribas is a very good example in Central Eastern Europe, where BNP Paribas is bringing a portfolio of digital agriculture products with information from the market as well to their clients in order to help them be better, be more productive, and provide better loyalty as well and position to the bank. So this is a very good example of the project in this region, and BNP Paribas is doing and scaling this project quite well. So if we focus on why banks would use digital agriculture technologies to bring it to farms, there are usually three key motivators. On one side, credit risk scoring is one of them, and in all the discussions about agritech and financing, credit risk scoring is usually one of the biggest topics, where banks often lack enough insights in understanding actually the actual productivity of farms, in understanding farm behavior. And with digital agriculture technologies, we will see later on, we can have very, very good and deep insight into what farmers are actually doing, how they're performing, how they benchmark between each other. And this can help banks to create a digital risk scoring, to improve their credit risk scoring algorithms and ensure better financing to their growers. On the other side, the next motivator that we can often see in the discussions with banks is definitely the approach of growing together, where banks understand that if farmers improve their productivity, if they improve their profitability, they will reduce their risk of loan returns. It will be more transparent insight into this relationship for everyone, and they will enable farms for expansion, for consolidation, which will then again open up the space for future financing. So on both, not just with credit risk scoring, it is on understanding how to finance growers, but in this approach of growing together, it is really about providing value to growers, where you can then, if growers are better, you are better as a bank. And the third part, which is very important part, is also maintaining farmer relationship. As you could see with examples of farmer business network of Tarfin as well, and there are some other initiatives across the world. New players are entering the market. You have startups that are providing financing directly to growers currently through the digital platform. All the other value chain stakeholders are also getting involved in financing as well. So we can see that input manufacturers, the input suppliers that provide inputs to growers from the big seed chemical companies are providing financing as well to growers for the season financing. We can see that food companies are providing financing to their ecosystem as well. So the question is, okay, how to ensure that bank keeps the digital relationship with the grower, and the bank is still relevant when we speak about financing the agriculture, so that the bank is really the wanted partner here as well. So these are three key motivators that we can see banks are considering and discussing. And when we speak about the value from the digital agriculture technologies and data sets, so this is the example of data sets that we have, for example, as a company, and we have much more than that. But when you take a look at the resources part, so we have all the information about farmer fields, where they are located, all the surfaces, size, is it own field, is it leased field, the same applies for machinery, what is the age structure of machinery, how many employees are there. Then when we take a look at the risk profile in terms of the climate risks, how often there is a storm event in terms of hail, frost, whatever, how often there are pest risk diseases as well. So the risk profile, then behavior profile when we come to the agronomy practices, what are farmers actually doing throughout the season, how good they are, how they actually protect their crops. If there is a risk, do they actually take care of that risk? What is the harvest actually there? So what is the progress on crops? So satellite imagery plays a huge role. It's not just that there is a need for farmer entry. There is a lot of intelligence that can be done fully remotely with insights to the productivity as well, where we can see what is the actual cost structure per field, per crop, per variety, what is the profitability, how well they utilize land, how well they utilize machinery. So very big data set that can be utilized for different behavior analytics and benchmarking of farms. And this is what we can see that currently when we take a look at the different data sets. So this is from GSMA publication about credit risk scoring and agritech, where they have analyzed different data sets from credit history, transactional records, know your customer data, to different kind of data sets, and try to qualify that by relevance, availability, acquisition costs, reliability, and how much you can predict from that. So it's important to understand that different data sets can provide you different insights for credit risk scoring. And what is very interesting to understand is that we can see two approaches currently when agritech is used for credit risk scoring. Within banks, on one side, we can see the approach where agritech solutions are brought to growers separately to increase maybe loyalty, etc., but used as a data set for standard credit risk scoring algorithms to financing service providers. And we can see the other approach where agritech is taking the role immediately of being the entity that finances the growers as well. So this is the second approach that we can see. And this is just one of the one of the ways how some banks are trying to profile their growers. This is example from Asia, from Myanmar, where there was a project for maize growers with 50,000 growers, and they brought loans to growers. And they were using credit risk scoring algorithms based on agritech solutions, and try to profile farmer by groups, different profile types. And what is very interesting that 50% of farms that were profiled in such manner repay their loans early. 50% repay their loans on agreed times, and this was the official statement from the project. And this is very interesting when we take a look how agri-tech solutions can help to profile farmers even when there is a lack of data for standard credit risk scoring. So if we speak about how to start a digital agriculture project as a bank, and this is often the question that a lot of banks ask, as they don't have enough resources internally, as they don't specialize in digital technologies completely when it comes to agri-tech. So the answer is very, very simple. So we as a company, we support the value chain with turnkey solutions, and I will try to explain our approach. So what we do is we definitely do first workshop together with a bank where we educate the bank about possibilities, where we try to do business modeling together with them to understand what they want to achieve as a bank, and whether they want to pursue credit risk scoring, whether they want to pursue loyalty, or it is simply about corporate social responsibility as a project. So there are different motivators. Based on that, we suggest completely what are the best options, how to approach farms and how to add value. And we take care of the entire technology. So we take care of the digital agriculture platform. We usually co-brand it to be co-branded with the bank as well, and we do the customer success completely to make sure that farmers get the value from the delivered technology, and the bank focuses on in initial stage definitely on identifying what they want to do, so project goals, but in the execution phase the role of bank is more on the business side of doing brand awareness, promoting the project, and ensuring that they deliver the solution to growers. So it's very important to understand that it is about the partner, to identify the good partner, how to start the project that will ensure that employees of the bank and resources of the bank are utilized in the best possible manner with minimum effort for them, so they can focus still on their core business while delivering value through digital agriculture technologies, both to growers and to themselves as a bank. And how long it takes, it depends on the complexity of the project. If, for example, our standard solutions are used that we have today, we can deliver the project within 2 months from the first workshop. So this is very fast time to market as well. So this is shortly the brief overview, and yeah. Let me hear the questions.
Thank you, Matija. Actually, I wanted to comment here that, I really do looking forward and eager to see some more agri-tech and fintechs focused on the agricultural customers, because as you showed, the financial gap is so big that, at the moment there is no competition. I mean, there is a place for everybody, and, the more players will be on the market, the more faster maybe SME and agricultural customer will get their finance, and maybe with less paperwork, with less documents, based on the data analysis that you have, for example, farmers can have. My question here, so I see, yes, we have a first question, and actually I'm encouraging all the attendees to type your questions into the chat. Well, I will take an advantage and I ask first question from my side. How do you feel at the very moment? So should you educate farmers to use your solution, or let's say to start use your solution? Because as I mentioned at the beginning, so agricultural customers, they are still more traditional in the way of they are doing their business, so their behavior, so probably they are less, I think, maybe my subjective opinion is they are maybe less agile than other businesses or other sectors. and also in the usage of digital solutions. So despite of the situation that very often these farmers are located very far from a branch, but they prefer physical contact with the relationship manager, when they take some decisions like taking a loan or financing or leasing. Do you see actually any changes during the last year? What do you see among your customers?
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, we need to be aware of the demographic structure of farmers. And today, when you take a look at the European Union, over 50% of farms are older than 60 years. So that's big risk for the food production, and generational transfer is happening very fast. So we can see that farmers that are currently over 65 are going to retirement, and new generation is taking over the farms, or those farms are being consolidated by larger farms. So that's a big trend. We can see that 25% of farms disappeared in the last 10 years in European Union. So the number is going down. So there are more and more professional farms that are on the market. So new generation and professional farms are adopting more and more agriculture technologies. It's very important when you speak about the segments in enterprise segment of farming. It is very fast, and it is the demand is there completely, and actually here is where we lack resources to support a lot of them, as there is really a lot of need for technology in enterprise segment. When you speak about SME segment, then it's more about change management and decisionality. The adoption is not going of digitalization is not going on the same pace as in other industries, because agriculture is a seasonal business, and it's different. So it's not month by month adoption. It's whether you use it for the season or you don't use it for the season. So we need to be aware of that. So when we try to bring technology solutions to growers, it needs to be timely. So if we speak today from today's perspective, so we need to deliver solutions. If we want to make projects with farmers in 2021, we need to start working on that to be able to deliver that in spring latest. So that's also one thing. And incentives and motivation by the value chain is very important. Farmers are not the only one who should take care of innovation cost. So that's very important. And this is what we can see, for example, that input manufacturers are delivering solutions to growers, and they are taking the cost of that in a significant manner. We can see food companies that save a lot of money by delivering our solutions to growers, and they pay for that. So growers get it subsidized by them as a part of their supply chain. And the same applies for financing industry as well. So this is where the value chain needs to get involved into bringing technology to growers, and then the pace will go up.
You managed that when you implement with the bank, so it takes around 2 months. Did I get it right?
Yeah, this is the standard solution, something that we already have, and they don't require some extensions of the platform, some specifics. Then we can deliver very fast, even within the 2 months. So.
Yeah. And in that case, which resources from the banks, let's say, are required? So how big a team, a devoted or dedicated team to this project should be? So from your experience, how much, does it take from the bank?
So usually marketing team is always there. So often it is utilized as well, no matter whether it's used in the same time as a data insight for credit risk scoring. It's always utilized as well for building a relationship with growers. So marketing team plays an important role in terms of promotion and brand awareness and farmer acquisition on the platform. And then relationship managers that work with farmers, they need to be informed, trained on essentials to be able to provide information to growers. So usually marketing team and relationship managers are the most important.
And what do you see here? What do you notice here in the region? Your solution or such solutions like yours are used mainly by the banks to retain customers, like to bring more loyalty, or for acquisition of the new customers?
Both. So both, it's more used currently for keeping relationship and providing additional value to attract new customers. We can see that it's being prepared for involvement into credit risk scoring algorithms and such. So there are in some projects banks want to make sure that they really can utilize the data and that it's utilized in a smart way. But primarily at this stage, it is a growing together approach.
If it like mainly banks are start thinking of keeping the relationship and maybe after this about the acquisition, what is how do you think, or what maybe you have some calculations or criteria? So what are the like triggers or criteria for the banks? For example, how many agricultural customers they should service to make the implementation of Agrivi solution like profitable or reasonable, let's say, for the bank?
It really depends on the entire platform and entire solution that is being brought to their farms. But what we can see based on calculations that ROI is made very fast. So ROI, whenever we go into ROI, ROI calculation is really good and I wouldn't speak about exact numbers because this really depends from bank to bank, from market to market. But agri-tech today, whether it's about banks or insurance companies or food companies, whoever is bringing that the technology to growers, ROI is usually within a year or two, not 5, not 7.
Okay. So I will read the question that we have. So it is about the insights. Are there any insights or key agricultural, agri-financing trends and challenges in the Middle East or Africa? Well, honestly, from my side, not a bit my region, but I can. I will check if we have something on that. But if you have some insights, so you're welcome to share.
For Africa, especially when it comes for smallholders, there are a lot of initiatives for microfinancing solutions, digital microfinancing solutions, where farmers can access loans simply through digital solutions, and this is rising, especially for that smallholder segment. We can see a lot of companies. Tarfin that we explained actually addresses as well. Those kind of markets with direct financing. So we can see that not just banks, but really different new companies, startups are coming into the segment of financing growers in Middle East and Africa. So a lot of projects there.
And taking also into account that this region, especially Africa, is important for, let's say, for food safety in general in the world. So yes, of course, this is important. So if I see we don't have questions at the moment, so maybe you would like to say something, to close today's session to our attendees.
Definitely. So as a company that supports all the stakeholders within the value chain, we can see the strategic importance of agri-tech solutions for everybody and for every stakeholder and their future business models. So what I would definitely encourage banks to consider how the financing will look like in the next 5 years. This is one thing because we can see a lot of fintech solutions entering. We can see a lot of solutions that are agri-tech that are providing financing together with for season financing especially, and this is definitely the most important part. So strategy for the next 5 years. and on the other side, the current crisis and everything that's happening, we can see a lot of impact to growers. A lot of growers will be under the burden and the risk that they will not be able to finance their operations in the next year, and especially investments also into marketplaces supporting farmers to reach the market. This is something that I would encourage also banks to consider, and if they are looking for a good partner, we will be happy to explain more how we can support from our side.
Thank you very much, Matija, for your contribution today, and thank you to all attendees for being with us and staying till the very end. So thank you, and see you next time online. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Lena. Good day, everybody.
Bye.